CNC group break 23704. We have the 5-box break of 2425 Upper Deck Series 2. Bang for your puck of Sanheim for Philly, Young Guns teammates of Milo and Hudson for Montreal, and an Electricity for Winnipeg of Kyle Connor. Black and white canvas for Chicago of Seth Jones, on tour speckle for Edmonton of McDavid and Draisaitl, and an Ooh La La for the Rangers of Shesterkin. On a heater of Wyatt Johnston for Dallas, McGroarty Young Guns for Pittsburgh, and a playlist for the Rangers of Artemi Panarin. Canvas of Konechny for Philly, on tour for Detroit of Larkin and Raymond, and an Ooh La La for Seattle of Joey Decord. Outburst base of Freddie Anderson for Carolina, Young Guns for Florida of Patrick Giles, and a welcome aboard for Montreal of Logan Milo. Young Guns renewed for Tampa of Kucherov, portraits for Vancouver of Quinn Hughes, and a Young Guns canvas of Siplikov for the New York Islanders. On tour for the Rangers of Panarin and Lafreniere, Young Guns of Andre Lee for LA, and an Electricity for Edmonton of Hyman. On tour Black Parallel, a little bent. Ooh, actually quite bent. Horvat and Barzal for the Islanders, Dazzlers for Dallas of Heiskanen, and a Young Guns renewed for Carolina of Svechnikov. Portraits of Liam Ogren for Minnesota, Accurati Young Guns for Utah, playlist for Carolina of Aho. Canvas of Lindgren for Washington, Young Guns renewed of UC Soros for Nashville, and a St. Louis Blues on tour of Thomas and Kyrou. Ooh La La Speckle for Colorado of Georgiev, Logan Morrison Young Guns for Seattle, and a welcome aboard for Anaheim of Cutter Gauthier. Canvas of Roman Yossi for Nashville, portraits for St. Louis Zach Dean, and an Ooh La La for Vegas of Aiden Hill. Box 2. On tour for Vancouver, Pettersson and Hughes, Young Guns of Zuber for Utah, and a welcome aboard of Zachary Bolduc for St. Louis. Fluorescence Red of Jet Luchenko for Philly, portrait speckle for Montreal of Suzuki, and an Electricity for Florida of Matthew Tkachuk. Portraits of Brendan Brisson for Vegas, Callum Ritchie Young Guns for Colorado, and an Ooh La La of Freddie Anderson for Carolina. Canvas of Vince Dunn for Seattle. We have a Bang for Your Puck for Anaheim, Radko Gudas, and an Ooh La La for Anaheim of John Gibson. An Outburst base for San Jose of Eklund, a Busey Young Guns for Boston, and a playlist for Florida of Alexander Barkov. Young Guns renewed for the Rangers of Adam Fox, portraits for St. Louis of Zachary Bolduc, and a Young Guns canvas for the Philadelphia Flyers, Jet Luchenko. Canvas of Aho for Carolina, Young Guns renewed for Boston of McAvoy, on tour for Utah of Keller and Cooley. Electricity Speckle of Brad Marchand for Boston, Young Guns of Devin Cooley for San Jose, and an Electricity for Calgary of Nazem Kadri. Canvas of Hellebuck for Winnipeg, on tour for Buffalo of Thompson and Dahlin, and a welcome aboard for Chicago of Frank Nazar. Bang for your puck of Adam Pellich for the Islanders. Dual young guns between San Jose and Philly of Celebrini and Mishkov. And a Joseph Wool, ooh la la, for Toronto. Dazzlers of Mukamadulin for San Jose. Young Guns renewed for Detroit of Cider. And a Young Guns Deluxe! Young Guns teammates number 250, Logan Milo and Lane Hudson for Montreal. On a heater for Boston of Pasternak, Phil Kemp Young Guns for Edmonton, and an electricity for Arizona of Clayton Keller. On to box number 3. Of Jake Neighbors for St. Louis, Bang for your puck for St. Louis, Kasperi Kapanen, and a welcome aboard for Tampa of Connor Geeky. Bang for your puck for Vancouver of Miller, Young Guns teammates of Gauthier and Zellweger for Anaheim, and a Sidney Crosby playlist for Pittsburgh. Outburst! Base for LA of Byfield, Young Guns for Calgary of Klapka, electricity for Ottawa of Brady Tkachuk. Canvas for Colorado of Joe Sakic. Young Guns renewed for Montreal of Suzuki. On a heater for Tampa of Kucherov. Clear cut base of Bukestad for Arizona. Portrait speckle of Brendan Brisson for Vegas. And a Minnesota Ulala of Philip Gustafson. Portraits of Draisaitl for Edmonton, Siplakov Young Guns for the Islanders, electricity for Tampa of Braden Point. On tour, Kucherov and Hedman for Tampa, Young Guns for Columbus of Cameron Butler, electricity for Detroit of Lucas Raymond. Dazzlers of Frank Nazar for Chicago, Young Guns renewed for Pittsburgh of Jake Gensel, and a population count 1,000 for Washington, Alex Ovechkin. On tour of Kadri and Sharangovich for Calgary, Johansson Young Guns for Detroit, Ulala for San Jose of Vanacek. Canvas of Rantanen for Colorado. Young Guns renewed for Ottawa, Brady Tkachuk. On a heater for Toronto of Austin Matthews. Welcome aboard Speckle for Dallas and Maverick Bork. Drew Comesso Young Guns for Chicago. And an Ulala for the Islanders of Sorokin. Canvas for Minnesota of Gustafson. Portraits of Brad Lambert for Winnipeg. And a Connor Bedard playlist for Chicago. Box number 4. On a heater for St. Louis, Robert Thompson, Logan Morrison Young Guns for Seattle, and a Chris Kreider electricity for the Rangers. Fluorescence Red, Will Smith for San Jose, on tour Speckle for Chicago of Bedard and Hall, and an Ulala for Edmonton of Stuart Skinner. Portraits for New Jersey, Seamus Casey, Young Guns for Edmonton, Phil Kemp, electricity for Colorado of Rantanen. Canvas of Hagel for Tampa, Portraits of Larkin for Detroit, playlist for Washington of Alex Ovechkin. Outburst base for Edmonton of Leon Draisaitl, Young Guns of Brian Halonen for New Jersey, and a welcome aboard for Minnesota of Liam Ogren. Canvas for the Rangers, Brian Leach, Young Guns renewed for Colorado of Rantanen, Bang for your puck of Josh Morrissey for Winnipeg. Canvas of Jamie Drysdale for Philly, Young Guns renewed for Florida of Barkov, Portraits for San Jose of Macklin Celebrini. Ooh La La, Speckle for Buffalo of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Alexei Kolosov, Young Guns for Philly. And a Jesper Wallstead, welcome aboard for Minnesota. Canvas of Kirill Kaprizov for Minnesota. On tour for Boston of Pasternak and Marchand. And an Electricity for Columbus of Werenski. Portraits of Josh Stone for Arizona. Callum Ritchie for Colorado Young Guns. And an Ooh La La of Tristan Jarry for Pittsburgh. Dazzlers for Washington of Ovi. Young Guns renewed for Calgary of Matthew Tkachuk. And a high gloss base numbered 6 of 10. Brock Besser for Vancouver. Jersey numbered 6 of 10. On tour of Eklund and Zetterlund for San Jose, Young Guns for Columbus of Cameron Butler, and an Electricity for Pittsburgh of Malkin. Last box mojo! Portraits for Boston of Charlie McAvoy. Young Guns for Utah, Patrick Koch. And number 100, Young Guns exclusives for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Rutger McGroarty. Young Guns exclusives. Black and white canvas for Anaheim of Gudas, a portrait speckle of Will Smith for San Jose, and a Nathan McKinnon playlist for Colorado. On tour for Nashville of Forsberg and Yossi, Young Guns for Florida of Patrick Giles, Ooh La La for Tampa of Vasilevsky. Canvas of McAvoy for Boston, on a heater of Panarin for the Rangers, welcome aboard for San Jose of Will Smith. Outburst base for Nashville of UC Soros. Another Young Guns duel, which means you each get one. And an Ooh La La for Washington of Lindgren. Canvas of JT Compher for Detroit. Young Guns renewed for Chicago of Panarin. Bang for your puck of Philip Roenick for Vancouver. Canvas of Nazem Kadri for Calgary. Young Guns renewed for Dallas of J. Rob. And a Muka Madulin Young Guns for San Jose. Electricity Speckle of Zegras for Anaheim. Jack Thompson Young Guns for San Jose. Electricity for Buffalo of Dahlin. Canvas for Ottawa of Shane Pinto. On tour for Columbus of Fantillion Johnson. And an Ooh La La of Binnington for St. Louis. On tour of Mark Stone and Hurdle for Vegas. Young Guns for the Islanders of Siplakov. And a playlist for Edmonton and McDavid. Black parallel Ooh La La for Winnipeg of Hellebuck. Dazzlers of Blaine Hudson for Montreal. Young Guns renewed of Vasilevsky for Tampa. Bang for your puck of Matthews for Toronto. Young Guns for Detroit of Johansson. And Electricity for Seattle of Jared McCann. There we go, folks.